All right, here we go. Let's do this some more, finding some fundamental Trig identities. We're going to do a little factoring here, okay? And we're going to start out with number 11. We're going to simplify this trigonometric expression by starting off by factoring this through and find out what happens here. So first off, what you have here is you have 2 cosecant x plus 2 and then 2 cosecant minus 2. Both these there both have 2. So one thing you might want to do first before you do all the other expressions, you might want to factor out this 2 first. I'm going to factor out 2 out of both these. Now, if I factor out 2 of both of them, it's going to be 2 times cosecant of x plus 1. And if I factor out 2 here, I'm just going to be, once again, cosecant. Erase that. Apologize. All right. Cosecant of x minus 1. And these 2 times 2 then is going to turn to 4. And now we're going to take these and we're going to distribute it through. Now this is going to have cosecant, which is going to be cosecant squared of x. Our middle term, because this is, if you notice, okay, is difference of 2 squares. So we're going to have this right here is going to be cosecant of x and then minus cosecant of x. So if you want me to write this out, I'll do it. All right, minus cosecant of x. And then we have 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. These will cancel out. And we're left with this. Now, we have cosecant squared of x minus 1. Well, hopefully you realize that, yes, that is a fundamental trig identity. All right, we always start with sine squared of x plus cosine squared of x equaling 1. That's not it. But if we divide by cosine, or sine, divide by sine squared, what we have then is 1 plus cotangent squared of x equals cosecant squared of x. Now that is pretty close to what we need. We have a cosecant and I have a minus 1, so I'm going to take that other side. Cotangent squared of x, so just to do a little algebra to simplify this, we have cosecant squared of x minus 1. Hey, it's the same thing as we have here. That equals cotangent. So I'm going to take that cotangent, I'm going to plug it in there, so I have my final answer is going to be 4 cotangent squared of x. And that's going to be my final simplified answer. All right. Once again, factor it through. Easy to factor out our common terms in each one of these. All right. Do basically algebra, factoring, and then looking at our trig identities to solve it. All right. Let's try this one. Similar thing. This one we have cosine. Cosecant and cotangent, not cosine, come on. So let's do the same thing. We have this, all right? We have, looks like difference of squares over here. So we're going to go take cotangent and cotangent, which is cotangent squared of x. Middle terms will cancel out. Hopefully you can see that. And then we're going to have minus, all right, cosecant squared of x. Now right here, if you notice, cotangent is actually cosecant x minus 1. So what I'm going to do is since I already have this here, all right, if you notice this, I'm going to take this and I'm going to simplify this because I have a cosecant already here. I'm going to replace this cotangent squared with this cosecant squared x minus 1. All right, so I'm going to replace this portion with this right here. So I get all cosecants. I'm going to see what happens here. So we're going to use a fundamental trig identity, and we could have done it the other way and the same way as taking cosecant and take 1 plus cotangent. We can do that as well, but I think this might be a little bit easier because cotangent is positive, and we don't have to worry about distributing the negative through. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to just take cosecant squared of x minus 1. I'm going to replace that for cotangent squared. I have minus cosecant squared. And now what you notice is now these two will cancel out. Yeah, they will cancel out. And so what we're left with is negative 1 as our one answer. And that's our answer right there, negative 1. Pretty cool, huh? So not too hard. We simplify them by factoring, looking for a trig identity, all right, a trig identity, all right, by one of these fundamental trig identities. We might have to reshape it or remove it, whatnot. Make sure you know your fundamental trig identities, all right, when you're doing these. All right, it's good to memorize them, learn how to get them. After you do them like 1,000 times, you kind of start seeing things. Whenever you need a square of cotangent or cosecant, or sine or cosine, and usually that works out, tangent and secant as well. All right, Well, hope this helped. I'm going to do 2 more. This is going to be division, or actually 3 more, in my next video of division properties. All right. Well, good luck and bless in the rest of your trig.